All right, here we go. Are we live? We're live. Okay. Hello. Welcome to The Real in Real Estate with Rachel Smith. I am a local realtor with RE/MAX Achievers in the Frederick area, serving Howard, Montgomery, Carroll, some of the outside vicinity counties as well. And I'm so excited because we have a guest today, Ryan Payne with Meeting Street Properties.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Oh, you are more than welcome. Thank you for coming. So he is an inspector whom I have worked with multiple times. Love him. He does a great job for my clients. So I wanted to bring him on, pick his brain a little bit, ask some questions, do all that fun stuff. If you want to comment, ask questions. It may not go live to what you're seeing. YouTube's live right now, but we'll be able to go back through those comments and we can get answers for you guys. Now, gift giveaway. So this week, my Frederick County people are going to love this. It is to Milan. Oh, well, look, it's out of focus. But all my parents out there know. So we have two $25 gift cards that we are giving away to this diamond of a place. It is like striking gold when you take your kids there. It is fabulous. I was there yesterday. Love it. I took my 3 younger kids, but I mean, you could take your kids up to probably age 12. It's amazing. So in order to get this gift card, we are going to be picking 2 separate winners. You just share this video. Feel free to comment and ask questions too. That might get you a little bonus. But in order to win, we want you to share this video. So that's it. Gift cards to Milan.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, have you been there yet?
I have not.
Okay, so you guys have to go. You and Claire have to go. You have to go with the kids. It's fabulous. It's in Frederick. It's by Texas Roadhouse, by the way. So before we jump into questions with Ryan, I'm going to do my market stat update. So let's go ahead and jump into that. Things have changed, guys. I was pulling things up like I typically do in the morning, and let me just show you what's happening. Things are. I'm kind of have my sad face on. All right, so let's take a look. All right, so Frederick County right now active is 697 versus 726. Guys, that's gone down. We need more inventory. I feel like I'm saying this every single video. All right, so active under contract is 126 versus 126, so we've stayed the same. Pending 578 versus 535. I swear that's not a typo. It is really 126 and 126 last week. So Howard County, our good old Howard County, 448 is active. Our active under contract is 84 and pending is 379. So again, just a refresher with the active under contract. Typically that means there's still some contingency timeframes that need to be fulfilled. Sometimes that means that showings can still occur. It's going to be listing specific and you want to check with that seller or listing agent. But sometimes with this status, they may be going through their home inspections or other contingencies where they still want to show the property, and most of the time they want to accept backup offers. So in this market where there's no inventory and you see something that you love, I can tell you multiple times I've had situations where buyer financing's fallen through, change of heart, something along those lines. So checking out properties that are active under contract may still be beneficial to you as a buyer. And then of course, as a seller, utilizing that status can be optimal too, because you're still getting the showings going. So let's just jump back to the screen. That's the wrong screen. So pending is 379. That did go up. I don't have a comparison between Howard, Montgomery, and Carroll from last week. Montgomery, of course, being a champ, 1,216 active. Active under contract is 422, and our pending is 987, which is incredible. I think that Carroll, Howard, and Frederick need to take notes. Let's step it up. I know we've got some new construction going on, but we are really slacking on inventory. So Carroll, 390 active, my little Carroll. And then my active under contract is 70, and pending is 248. Guys, we need more inventory. With that said, I have another little slide that I want to show everybody just to do a little toot toot. And these are all things that have been spoken about on this show. And now here we are. Check it out. Under contract, under contract, under contract, under contract, under. So these are all my listings and 2 of them are my buyers. So 3, 2, all of these are my transactions and we are under contract. With that said, I need more listings. So if you are thinking about selling your house, let's get a pre-inspection done.
Absolutely.
And let's talk about listing because there are buyers like waiting in the lurch. The rates are so low right now, so the buying power is still impeccable. Buyers that qualify right now for 350, so to say, may not qualify for 350 in a few months. It may be more like 325. So take advantage of that buying power now. There's more buyers out there in that price bracket because the interest rates are low. With that said, I think that's it for my stats. I don't think I have anything else going on. So let's just jump into these questions with Ryan. All right. So obviously we want to talk about this whole pass and fail thing. I don't know if that's what we had first, but we're just going to go ahead and talk about it. So I always hear my clients saying, is it going to pass inspection or is it going to fail inspection? And that's not typically how things roll. It's typically a grading system is kind of how I would.
Yeah, so a home inspection is not a pass or fail thing. It's more of a what you're comfortable with, what the buyer is comfortable with. You don't, when I give you my report, when I get done the home inspection, it's not a fail. There can be 100 things wrong with the house, but it's what you're comfortable with.
Or you could just take it and be like, oh, I'll take those 100 things. I want the house.
Right,
It's fine.
You know, and that's, I don't think I've ever had a house with 100 things wrong with it, so that's the good news. But, you know, it's just stuff that, you know, you just have to decide for yourself whether or not you're comfortable with moving forward with the defects that exist.
Yeah, and then I think the other thing is, now that I'm thinking about it as we're doing this, I think sometimes people can get that pass or fail mindset when really an appraiser, and you're really good about providing insight with this too, because on some of our projects that we've done together, hey, you know, an appraiser might catch this. This is something that really needs attention because that would be a quote unquote fail, so to say, or what we call a lender required repair. So you'll get your inspection, right, with the professional home inspector. And then there's an appraiser that can come in and kind of almost act like a mini inspector too. And those are items that you can point out. Now, when I'm talking about getting your general inspection, is that something that an inspector is certified to do? What type of certifications do you typically need to have to be I guess it would be a licensed Maryland inspector?
So to be licensed in the state of Maryland, you have to have a 72-hour course. So, and it cannot be online. You have to take it in class, in person.
I remember doing that with real estate.
Yeah, so
when
72
I did it.
hours is it's a lot.
Yeah.
And Maryland has a little bit more stringent rules than other states.
I keep looking at my assistant. Sorry, guys. Maybe she can come stay here. But no, it's true. Maryland is very scrupulous, I think, with all of their professions, really.
Right.
I mean, you guys know that.
You have to have 30 hours of continuing education every 2 years. So every 2 years
We
you
only
have
to have 15.
Yeah, so 30 hours every 2 years. And I'm actually a member of InterNACHI. It's the International Association of Certified Home Inspectors. It's a huge mouthful.
Okay.
But they require 24 hours every year. So
in addition to your 30?
that counts towards your 30.
Okay. So they're
I guess
making sure that you're knocking out
48,
those 30.
right?
Okay.
Yep.
Very good. Very good. So I think another thing that I also like to kind of talk about with you specifically in Meeting Street Properties, that you have a really cool background that a lot of other inspectors don't have. Am I allowed to mention that?
You can.
Okay. I didn't even ask him before, but he's actually also a professional firefighter. So what is really, really cool about that is that he's getting insight and bringing value to a home inspection that maybe other inspectors don't have, because he's seen things as they're falling apart too.
Right.
And I think that's always, not to make light of the situation, but I think that there's value in having that education base. So I always love telling my clients that, by the way, he's got, this extra background as well that helps as he's kind of being scrupulous with his home inspection. So
it is cool, because knowing building construction at the fire department helps with home inspecting, and vice versa. When I'm at the fire department, it's kind of cool to, somebody's got questions, or where's the electric shut off, that sort of thing. So I'm able to help people in both
a little bit more
professions.
insight,
It's neat.
maybe, right?
So, yeah.
All right, let's roll through our next question. So what is the typical cost of a home inspection?
So I'd say usually between $350 and $400. It's all based on square footage. So,
Okay.
if we said the average size house is around 2,000 square feet, you're looking at about $350.
Okay.
So,
Well, that's not horrible
no, it's not.
at all.
No, it's not.
And I think that that's a very wise investment. So with that said, how long does it take to do a home inspection? Let's say you were doing a home inspection on, give a comparison between a condo and maybe a house that's 3,000 square feet.
Right, so with a condo inspection, you're cutting out a lot of the inspection process. You're not really doing the exterior, you're not doing the roof.
true.
You can inspect minimal portions of the exterior, but it's more of a kind of like a courtesy because it's typically handled by building
The
maintenance.
condo association, yeah.
Right, so if you're doing a typical house, you're looking at around 3 hours, and I always say plus or minus a half hour. It kind of just depends. I like to say I'm there for the client. So if you have questions, like I'm your resource.
Yeah.
So I'm there. You're paying me to be there. So if you got questions, I
Yeah,
stay
and
as long as
speaking
you
of
ask.
which I will just interject, I typically will advise, just from experience with us, and I will typically advise my clients, hey, let them get there, let Ryan get there, get set up, do his thing, start kind of getting a feel for their surroundings, get eyes on the property, and then maybe show up halfway through. I mean, it's your time, right? It's your time as a client to be there too, and bring whomever else you want. You want to bring a contractor, bring a contractor. But then that is also your time to ask questions. But I like to say, hey, let him get started, and then kind of show up maybe halfway through, walk the property, and at that point you have a good idea of what's happening. So keep that in mind too. All right, so what type of things do you inspect? Now, you're a general inspector, so you're gonna do the structural, the water,
Right.
the electric, the mechanicals,
Right. So
roof.
Yep. So home inspections, I'm kind of looking at the best analogy I've ever heard. So you're kind of like a primary care physician.
Oh.
So you're going to go to your doctor, and they're going to say, hey, if you had something wrong with your heart, they're going to send you to a heart doctor.
Okay.
And that sort of thing. So if I see something wrong with your electrical system or something like that, I'm going to refer you to an electrician.
To a specialist.
Right. So I'm more of a generalist. I am looking for major defects or safety issues and that sort of thing.
Okay, that answers that. But other services that you offer, now that I'm thinking about it, you offer radon too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm kind of excited to announce we have 2 new radon, continuous radon monitors coming. They'll be in the mail tomorrow, and it's kind of like cutting edge stuff. It's a Cranium Pro.
I love that.
and
I like that he uses, we're going to get a chance to look at an inspection report. I like that he uses like the highest tech that's out there to kind of partner up with
It's really
the
neat.
knowledge.
Yep. Yeah, the company we're using, they're out of Norway.
Jeez.
It's a Norwegian company. Yeah, that's where they're founded. But they really do some cool stuff, just talking about like air quality things.
Because that's
So
important.
really
That's
exciting.
important, and there's so many levels. I mean, obviously with inspections, you can do your general inspection, which again, structural mechanicals and things of that nature. But then it's going to be property specific too. If you need a well and septic inspection, that's a whole nother. That's like what you would call a specialist. And then if you need to test the water, what other types of inspections are there? Now that I'm thinking about it, you could test mold.
Yeah, people ask for mold. Sometimes with older houses, people ask for
Lead-based paint, your termite.
termite inspections. Right now, we just focus on, or at least Meeting Street Properties focuses on just the inspection portion
yeah.
and radon testing.
Yeah. Which, I mean, you know what you're doing, right? You know your thing. Okay. So let's see. 3 red flag items that you find that you wish would be, I guess, more addressed or more focused on, if I'm saying that right?
So I guess like 3 red flag items. When I see, and I always
Most
tell
common?
people there's no such thing as a perfect home. So I have never done an inspection where I have not found something.
Even new construction.
Even new construction. I've always found something. I've done one where I found 1 defect, and that was it. And
It wasn't mine, right?
No.
Okay. He actually was an inspector for our bank. We didn't know it at the time,
Right.
but it was just kind of funny. He's inspected our house. So, but anyways.
But red flag items. So roofing, anything wrong with roofing systems.
Okay.
So if there's any issues with the shingles, the flashing, your downspouts and gutters, that protects your whole home. So when you have issues with that, those are something that you really, really want to take care of. Foundation issues, major cracks or shifting, or you have water in the basement. These are going to be big time. And when I say red flag, I'm talking about stuff that's going to cost you, over $10,000 so, these are
address.
big repairs that
Those are
not gonna
probably,
be able to do yourself.
that we would say seller or walk, right?
Yes.
So typically with an inspection, you're going to ask the seller to rectify the issues that are found, or if they are not in a position to rectify those issues, then we ask for credit. And if we can't do a meeting of the minds at that point, then we walk away. Or you just move forward with the knowledge base of what's been provided in the inspection report, but I think it's going to be property specific. So if there's something major, I'm telling you to walk out. All right. So I'm going through my list because I don't have it printed, guys. Typically I have it printed. So I don't. I'm going off my phone. So bear with me. Okay. And I'm just checking here. I'm going to ask you the craziest thing that you found.
I got permission for this response.
Okay. All right. So what's the craziest thing? Because I know what it is, but what is it? Tell our lovely viewers.
So Rachel called me, and this is probably, 2 years ago?
Yeah, and then we can play off this too and talk about the importance of it.
Pre-listing inspections, yeah. So Rachel called me for a pre-listing inspection. I got to the house, and it was in the woods, so I didn't really think anything of it when I saw some like snake skins in the gutter. And I was like, okay, to be expected, right? Well, I get down to the basement.
Excuse me, please.
It looks like a car wash. Like that's the only way I can describe it. So like when that like the cloth like hangs down from a car wash, that's how much snake skins were like hanging from the drop ceiling. I was like, no. So big bad fireman, terrified of snakes. I don't do snakes. So I was like, I called Rachel. I was like, you're gonna have to get somebody to come in here and take care of this before I come back.
I love those phone calls.
I gotta go.
I love those phone. I don't love those phone calls.
So,
but
we were able to get it taken care of.
Yeah. And I think what was really cool. Imagine your buyer that may not have caught that through a walkthrough, through a showing, or anything else like that. Imagine your buyer's inspector, sellers. This is directed to you. Imagine your buyer's inspector is catching something like that.
Right.
That
like buyer psychology. Right?
Yeah.
So they're gonna think even if you have once they see that they can't unsee it.
No.
Right, so they're going to think to themselves.
No,
like,
that's
even
unseeable.
if you have somebody come in there and take care of all of it,
it's
they're
still
think
there.
To themselves, oh my
It's
gosh,
still
is there
there.
a snake in this
And
house?
it's even in owner occupied properties, there's sometimes you don't know. I'll be honest, guys. I've lived in an old farmhouse before where I've had a snake in the basement. I'm using the word snake. I'm not adding an S to the end of that. All of you that are close to me know those stories. However, so it's sometimes you may not know. There are so many things that you may not know to look for that inspectors are going to see these days, especially with the technology and everything else. Right. They're going to pick your house apart and document everything. So I think the best thing to do is, as a seller, do a pre-inspection. It's almost like buying a pre-certified house, right? Take care of any items that come up that you feel might be important, that should be addressed prior to even going on the market. It's the same thing with the car. When you go to buy a used car, right? Typically you're going to lean towards a car that's pre-certified or pre-inspected or whatever. It can be the same situation with the house. Why not do the same for a house? It's up to $500, right? I mean, between $350, $500, that's your ballpark amount. It's worth spending that money in advance in order to do so. And with that said, I forgot to even say this in the beginning. If you list with Rachel, one of the Smith partners, between now and May, we will pay for your pre-inspection seller. So
that is an awesome deal. Awesome deal.
I know, I'm so excited. Cool. And then we get
really
to just,
cool.
Work together again.
That's
so,
really cool.
Yeah, so between now and May, if you decide to list with us, call us, let us know, tag us, DM us, and we will go ahead and get that started. Upon signing your list agreement, we will send out an inspector and get your home pre-inspected and pre-certified before going on the market. So with that said, let's look at an inspection report and get an idea of what they actually look like. And then, is there anything that I missed? Because we had notes lined up, but then Rachel's printer didn't want to work, and so now here we are trying to figure that out.
I think that was kind of it. I mean, we had discussed some three easy items to correct.
Okay, yeah. What are 3 things that you would tell sellers?
Simple stuff, like cover plates on outlets or switches. Sometimes, that's a safety issue, right? So you don't want wires exposed where people can come in contact with them. That's a 50-cent fix at Lowe's or Home Depot. Filters and HVAC units. I always see old filters that are clogged up, and you want to give the impression. And I also mentioned caulk around doors and windows and utility penetrations. You want to give the buyers not the perception, but you want them to know that the house has been taken care of,
cared for.
And little things like that go a long way.
Yeah.
Towards making them feel that way.
It does, and check up on deferred maintenance items. I swear, 80% of the time that we're doing showings, deferred maintenance is going to show before anything else. So if you have a house that may be dated, but it's impeccably maintained, or the maintenance is up, that's going to show better than a house that hasn't been maintained, that has staging to the T and color, So it really is about taking care of it and doing a whole walkthrough. And again, you don't know what today's inspectors are going to find. So again, I really strongly suggest getting a pre-inspection prior to listing, and I already told you that deal. With that said, let's look right now at what we've got going on here. I gotta hit the right button. Okay, so ta-da, there you are.
There
All right, so we're gonna look at a sample report. This is the technology that I love getting.
And we are so excited. InspectAura is, we think, is like the Cadillac model. And InspectAura, and I was telling you this earlier before the show started, was
Let me go back.
InspectAura was created by a realtor. Him and his brother founded InspectAura, and it is geared for the home inspector and the realtor at the same time. We're going to show you one of the
I know, and I actually didn't realize how awesome this is, agents. So agents, if you're watching, this is really, really cool. So let's just jump into it. I'm going to go back to the screen. All right, so here we go. This is what a sample report would look like. 1234 Main Street. Typically, there's an awesome picture of Rachel right there. However, we'll let that guy go. So I just love how it's broken down into different segments, different areas of importance. So exterior and the pictures, right? There's your mechanicals.
And they're really cool. If you actually click on the pictures, so if you click on them, it'll expand it. So you're like, oh, what did you take a photo of? So sometimes it just, to shrink onto the report and onto the page, it just kind of shrink down that photo. So once you click on it, sometimes it'll have comments. If you see ones with like little white quotation, like a quote box at the bottom corner that has a comment, like a little caption associated with the picture. And what's really cool is the videos.
Yeah, let's find a video. Oh, here we go. Here's one right here. So I love this, and then you can expand it. I did learn that.
So it was impossible. Some of the other software that I've used in the past, you can't take video.
Uh-oh.
And so how do you
Watch me
take a
while I try and
picture
find that
of
again.
a leaking faucet or a leaking shower head? Sometimes you're like standing there with the camera. And, oh my
Trying
gosh, I gotta like catch the one drop.
Oh, here's
right?
a good one.
So,
Here's a good one. Here's a good one.
yeah.
All right, so again, I gotta expand it. Bear with me, guys. But yeah, that's good. So it's showing, hey, that window isn't
It's not, but yeah,
doing what it
it's
needs
right,
to
it's
do.
not staying open, which
Yeah.
becomes a safety hazard. for
So-
people, especially if you have little kids.
Yeah, and then the other important thing is, I mean, that's stuff that an appraiser is also going to pick up on. So let's keep looking. I love this heat, the water meter, the water sensor. So tell me about that. That is doing what?
So that's just detecting any moisture. So in that particular house, the water was leaking around the plumbing vent, flashing. So when we saw the stain on the ceiling, a lot of times you'll see stains on ceilings, on walls, on foundation walls especially, and stuff like that. And you want to verify if that's an old stain or if that's a fresh stain. So with the moisture meter, it allows you to know if that's if there's
What
any
is
moisture
that?
content present or not.
What is that? Yeah, because that, is it an old problem? Is it a new problem that they just didn't fix the sheetrock?
Exactly.
So continuing on through the report, we've got videos, we've got details, and then I just love the specific, I just love the arrows here. Look at this. Boom. So it's going to give you an ace, because sometimes you may wait, what am I looking at? Is there a crack or is there not? You know, so
Right.
it gives an idea of what exactly is going on. The other option I like that you actually just showed me is the tools that can be used to do a request.
This is a game changer. This is a game changer. So this is really cool stuff.
So it looks like what you can do is just check what you want addressed.
Right, and you can either add a credit or you can make your own comment.
Yeah, you can say, hey, look, this is important. I want you guys to fix this. Again, that's going to revert back to once we receive the report, we can go through it and pick out what things are the most important to ask that seller to rectify. Again, if sometimes sellers can't be in a position to rectify those things right away, then they may be in a position to offer credit from their proceeds of the transaction. So again, you know, you can just click what's necessary to send for that repair request addendum, send a little message, hey, fix this, and then boom, you can preview it as a PDF you said, right?
Yep, you can either make a PDF if
Boom.
you prefer to save it to, if you have a Google Drive or Dropbox account that you prefer to send it or save it to, or if you hit the other tab.
Yeah,
you
let's
can-
go back and see what that is.
Right, when you hit create, you can
I
just
gotta go
send
back,
it
though. Bear with
directly
me.
to the realtor.
Yeah, so
The
create.
listing- the
And so
listing.
this is something that I think I just fell in love with. I think I'm madly in love with this option. You can send it to their email or their text message, and then that way they're getting an idea of exactly what's happening right away. Because I tell you what, when I'm on the seller side and there's an inspection, I want to know, like, Obviously, there's time frame contingencies, but to be able to share this quickly and say, hey, look, here's a heads up as to the inspection report. There is going to be a repair request coming, but go ahead and get started looking at this report and go through it line item by line item so that you guys know what's coming. But again, I just love the details that are here. And the pictures, I mean, these days, everything that's done with your inspection reports, it's just so high tech and it's so detailed.
Yep, it's huge. It makes a very big difference.
Yeah, and then I'm trying to get back to the other side because I wanted to show in the sample report, I wanted to show what was really cool. So I like that there's the color coded, right? So 2 maintenance items. So, and the recommendations and then the safety. So I automatically as a buyer's agent, I'm jumping right to that red. I'm jumping to the red, then I'll dance on the yellow, but I'm going to jump right down to those red items that are safety issues. I'm pointing the screen like you guys can actually see it without me hitting it. But like, look, so that's where I'm like, all right, these are the things that are important. So all in all, I think with the technology, the pictures, the videos, again, it's so simple and it's such an easy element that can be included in pre-listing. And then again, obviously when you're doing your home inspection as a buyer, it just makes it clear cut in the communication and the transaction itself that much more streamlined. So it's just amazing technology,
and
I'm
really cool and it's mobile
really
friendly, so people can look at this on their phone and
they
get all the photos and everything like that. It's.
I like rush back to my house. I'm like, I gotta look at my laptop.
Right. So
but no, really, it's.
Yep, this is made for mobile devices, so it'll adjust everything so that you're seeing it the right way and everything like that. So it's pretty cool stuff.
It is pretty cool.
And in a day and age, I think where everybody is moving to the technology and stuff like that, it's pretty cool to be able to like kind of keep up with those times.
Yeah.
And be relevant with your buyers.
Yeah, I mean, so it's not only just technology and marketing, but it's also technology throughout the whole process. So I think it's really, really cool to keep that. All right, I'm trying to think if there's any other topics that we need to touch on that you're thinking of. Again, the deal, if you decide to list with one of the Smith partners between now and May, we're going to pay for your pre-inspection. Let's get it going. Remember, we've got an in-house contractor, so that's always fun to have in our pocket. We really have everything lined up to a T. So there is such a value in getting things going beforehand and not waiting until the inspector comes in and then taking that risk of having the deal fall apart or having an uncomfortable buyer or anything else along those lines. I have little viewers over here. So it's just important. Any questions that you have for Ryan? Ryan, how can they contact you?
They can email me at meetingst@gmail.com.
I'll put a link too.
Yeah, you can put a link in there. You can also contact us through our website. It's www.meetingstproperties.com. Or you can just call me.
Or you can just call me and I'll connect you. And that's the way to save the money, really, if you really want to be specific about it. But again, you can ask him questions if you have any other things that you're thinking of. Hey, I'm on the fence about this. Do you think it's worth inspecting? Or if you've had an inspection report in the past and you want a second opinion, hey, here you go. With that said, reach out to us. Guys, share to win the fabulous Meland gift card. So share our video, comment, like, post. We would love to hear your feedback and your interaction. Thank you for bearing with us as we kind of deal with our audio and our new studio setup. And this is my first guest here. So thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me. This is really cool.
Yeah. And so guys, tune in next week. We are going to have an insurance agent on to talk about the different types of homeowners insurance and how you can bundle it and everything else. So we'll have Jackie from Nationwide. So we're really excited to have her on, and thank you again. We'll see you soon. You'll have to come back on. And that was it, guys. You can reach me either by commenting, DMing, or at 301-956-3342, or go at thesmithpartners.com. And I would love to speak with you guys. All right. Thanks so much. Bye. I love that.